Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof.
Khabar partner?
Salam.
Warahmatullah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bu Tuti.
Good morning. I'm looking forward, since 2 days received the WA from Prof. Yusuf. Aduh, come on Saturday, come on Saturday, come on Saturday. Ini siapa ya? Ini siapa ya?
Mana?
Ini ada orang cakap, ini siapa ya? Ada orang yang bagus banget, ini siapa? Ada artis. Unfortunately, we cannot share to other outside UNISEM. If it is, then I will share to my lectures.
You can share to your lecturers also. It's for everybody.
Oh yeah, because
yes.
it is mentioned.
You can share now. We still got time.
Ibu Tuti, you can invite Prof also to your university. You can invite
that's
Prof.
what I'm planning. That's what I'm planning.
Next time, so you can invite Prof.
That's what I'm planning.
In your university, so it is better for Prof to extend the networking.
Yeah, because that's true. Let's arrange.
You should invite our professor.
Yeah, let's arrange. Because PLS SEM is not that familiar yet. In Indonesia, the most familiar is SPSS, while SEM is still rather than people still is not that understand enough. So they use consultant, and there are many consultants. In fact, in Indonesia, just few days ago, there is a seminar also, but still SPSS, not SEM.
Yeah, after this workshop, you also can be consultant, Ibu Tuti.
With you, I cannot do anything without you all guys in here. I can sell. I'm trying to sell to several universities in Indonesia, like UE and then Trisakti.
You can share now with your.
Okay. I can. Okay, then I will share now.
After this, I will be a celebrity.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, I will share now. Okay, hold on, yeah.
I will be very famous after this.
No problem. Famous for a good one is good. Alone.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bu Susi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Prof.
Okay, we will start shortly. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? How's everyone? Puan Bashirah, Kak Cik, apa khabar? Nampak macam ada Kak Cik.
Baik, alhamdulillah.
Sehat Kak Cik, rindu Kak Cik ya. Lama tak jumpa.
Sama-sama rindu. Minta maaf lah saya ikuti.
Ya. Kak Cik, apa ni? Welcome. Ni Kak Cik, saya nak buat pahala ni. Sepatutnya yang ni berbayar. Tapi saya nak buat pahala.
Alhamdulillah, infak yang terbaik, infak ilmu.
Ya, kita kongsilah. Saya bukan alim Kak Cik, saya bukan alim.
Ilmuwan yang budiman.
Saya cuma masih lagi pelajar, masih belajar. Jadi kita kongsilah hari ini ya.
You are so humble, Prof.
It's true. I'm still learning from you. I'm still learning from Dr. Sufyan. Dr. Sufyan, if I'm stuck somewhere, you help me out.
Saya tu Prof dah power dah ni.
Dr. Sufyan is an expert.
No. I'm learning. I'm your student. I'm your supervision. Under supervision.
I'm still a student. I'm still learning. Okay. We will wait for 2 more minutes. Dr. Sufyan, some of our friends are still not here.
Yeah, I will invite them from the WhatsApp group. I will invite them. Okay, I will remind them to come to here.
Actually, this PLSM is very powerful. It's advanced and it's a 2nd generation after SPSS. And usually workshop on this PLS or MOS SEM, usually it is costly. But today we are just sharing. So it is free. Rugilah kalau tak masuk Dr. Sufyan. Otherwise kena bayar mahal kan.
Betul. And sometimes for PhD level, we are going to use MS ataupun or we use PLSM. So for PhD student, I think today workshop is very relevant to our study.
Yes.
Betul, Prof?
So inshallah next week we will have a workshop on MOS SEM conducted by Dr. Sufyan. So today we have a workshop on PLSM. Inshallah we will share. So for PhD students, lecturers, researchers, this is the advanced statistical package. That is very, very powerful. All right. Okay, so maybe can we start? All right. Okay, let's get started. Everybody is ready? Bu Tuti, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm still sending, sending this one, selling the. No.
Dr. Sufyan, can you share also
Okay.
the link to our Telegram?
Okay.
And also to my channel, Dr. Yusuf TV.
Okay.
So this session is being recorded, and I will upload in our Telegram. Okay, you can join our Telegram group, and also I will upload in my YouTube channel, Dr. Yusuf TV. So you can also join my channel so that I'll be famous. I'll be a celebrity after this. Okay.
Yep. I sent to Trisakti and then to campus and then to my docent in STIME and then the docent, our lecturer in statistics.
So welcome to this workshop. We have participants from Indonesia, of course from Malaysia, our friends, also from Pakistan, from where? Mr. Hamza from Uganda. So we can say international workshop.
Sure.
How are you, Mr. Hamza?
I'm fine, Prof. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. What time is it in Uganda?
It's 4 a.m. 4
a.m. Oh,
Yes.
It's time. It's time for Qiyamul Layl.
Sure.
Hello, sir. Prof, there is also a participant from Nigeria.
Oh, Dr. Sani, how are you?
Fine.
Okay, let me introduce Dr. Sani. Okay, Dr. Sani and I, we were doing PhD together. So we were best friends. We help each other.
I know.
And
I
yeah,
know.
some of you know Dr. Sani, right? Because
Yeah.
I shared Dr. Sani's
Because
quote also with you. So Dr. Sani is my guru in
yeah.
PLSM. Welcome.
Mhm.
Dr. Sani, if I'm stuck or if I cannot answer questions from the audience, can you help me out?
Thank you, Prof.
Dr. Sani is a lecturer in Nigeria. What university are you working, Dr. Sani?
Federal University, Duse.
Which university?
Federal University, Duse.
Okay, where is it?
In Nigeria, Jigawa State, Nigeria.
Chikawa State, Nigeria.
Yes, Jigawa State, Nigeria.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So we have participants from all over the world, and this is live. Mr. Masri, raise hand. Go ahead, Mr. Masri. You want to ask any question? Okay.
So sorry, Prof. Just to say hi to Mr. Dr. Sani.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Masri.
Yeah.
Thank you, Masri. Thank you so much.
Dr. Sani, you remember Mr. Masri?
Of course, I always remember him. We used to connect on the Facebook. Sometimes I used to see his post,
Okay.
and I responded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Mr. Masri already have questions. We haven't started yet. Okay. So let's get started. This is a workshop on multivariate data analysis using partial least squares, structural equation modeling, PLSM. And multivariate means in our framework, we have more than two variables. If it is two variables, we call bivariate. And PLSM is an advanced package. And some people call it the second generation after SPSS. So in order to use PLS, you have to know Excel, right? To input your data, you need to know Excel because PLSM analyze data, but you need to input your data in Excel or in SPSS, right? So last week we had a workshop on SPSS. So Ibu Tuti, so now you are an expert in SPSS. Okay.
Not yet. I will, learn from you, especially Prof. Yusuf, Dr. Sofyan, and also, the one, Dr. Sani. Let me introduce myself. I'm the student of Prof. Yusuf who received your papers, your dissertation, which
Yeah,
I learned from.
we shared your work to. So Dr. Sani.
Yes, Prof.
We ask your permission to share with Bu Tuti some of the work, especially on how to construct the theoretical framework of the study. Is it okay?
Go ahead, Prof. No problem. Go ahead, Prof.
Thank you very
so
much. Yeah. Some of them still don't know how to do certain things like, construct the framework, the underpinning theory. So I shared some of the thesis, including my thesis, to help them. Thank you, Dr. Sani.
Share with them.
All right. So like I was saying, you need to know Excel and SPSS, right? So before you need to know, before you can use PLSM. Just like before you write a car, right? It's good that you know how to ride bicycle, and then you know how to ride a motorcycle. Then you ride a motor car, something like that. So this is the advanced or second generation statistical package. All right, what are we going to do today? Today we will introduce you to PLS SEM. Why we need to learn PLS SEM? One of the reasons for using PLS SEM is when the structural model, for PhD students, we call the theoretical framework of the study, right? And for some researchers also, they have the theoretical framework of the study written in chapter 3 usually. Chapter 3 is research methodology, right? So we need to specify and construct the theoretical framework of the study. And right, for PhD students, the theoretical framework of the study is complex, usually consists of dependent variable, independent variables, and if appropriate, we have mediating variables, and some students have the moderating variables. So the model or the theoretical framework of the study is complex, right?
Where is your kitty?
Okay. Somebody need to turn off the audio. All right. So PLSM is like I said, is powerful. It can be used to estimate the complex theoretical framework of the study. All right, according to Hare et al. 2011, PLSM is more appropriate when extending an existing theory. Hold on, I need to mute somebody.
Yeah, I think so. You mute all.
How do I mute this? Oh, I'm in trouble. Please mute if everybody please mute first. If you have question, then you can unmute, okay? Where are we? So according to Hare et al., PLSM is more appropriate when extending an existing theory. So for PhD students, you have to have novelty, right? Novelty means, you need to extend the existing theory. It has to be something noble, something new, noble, and significant, and have contributions to knowledge, right? So we talked about it in the research methodology class. Right, so PLSM is very powerful in estimating model or theoretical framework of the study. Okay, we extend the existing theory. That's what you're supposed to do, Bu Tuti. Right? That's what you're supposed to do. You cannot replicate other people's work, right? So you need to. So how do you construct the theoretical framework of the study? So you need to have the underpinning theory, right? And then you can combine with other theories, and you can introduce a new variable. That's what we call extend the existing theory. So your theoretical framework should be different or somewhat different from the framework of others. Okay, so far so good. Any question? Moreover, the advantage of PLSM is that it can estimate measurement models and structural models simultaneously. So today you learn new words, measurement model and structural model. So we will learn only two things today: the assessment of measurement model and the assessment of structural model. So what is the measurement model? What is the structural model? Okay, be patient. Bu Tuti, be patient.
Maybe we can ask our participant to write in the chat box whether they have experience using PLSM or not. At least we know the background of them. Boleh tanya dia orang pernah guna PLSM tak? Tak takut kita cakap tentang orang pula. Kita boleh tanya dia orang. Okey, boleh tanya dia. Mungkin siapa yang pernah guna boleh tulis dekat chat tu. Saya pernah guna ke kan. Boleh bro, macam mana?
Boleh.
At least ada interaction sikit lah. Bro boleh tanya ke mana?
Okay, good idea. So everybody, please write in the chat box whether you have used PLSM, whether you know PLSM or not. So anybody who have heard of PLSM, okay, answer in the chat box. Anybody who has used PLSM? Number one, have you heard PLSM? Number two, have you used PLSM?
There is no right or wrong answer. We just want to know your background. At least we know who is our participant. So this workshop can be interactive, to be interactive.
Yes, you can ask any question anytime during this workshop. Okay. All right. So
from the participant, Prof, Dr. Fatihah dia pernah dengar, tapi dia tak pernah guna, never use the PLSM. Ibu Tuti so dia baru dengar hari ni, just today. Okay, daripada Encik Masri, orang secondary data pun baru nak kenal PLSM. Oh, ramailah. Okay, so most of our participants macam from starting today dia heard about the PLSM. Banyak beginners ada Prof. Tengok lah.
Okay, so we will go
ada yang tak biasa guna lagi.
We will go very slowly.
Bagus. Maksudnya our participant is very beginner with the PLSM, so maybe Prof can go slowly, and if you have question you can ask directly to our professor to make sure our session become more interactive. Kalau tak faham tu boleh tanya. Our professor is expert in PLSM, so he will entertain our question lah. Macam tu bro. So alhamdulillah lah ramai reply tu. Nanti kalau ada salah boleh tulis di chat box juga. Kalau Prof tak nampak tu saya akan entertain lah, tanya dekat pihak Prof lah.
Dr. Sani is an expert, so he is my guru.
If we both of us cannot answer the question, I can ask Dr. Sani to help us in entertain the question for PLSM. Okay, thank you, Prof. Saya rasa ada bagi good feedback for today class, so maybe we can continue our session again.
Okay, thank you. So Dr. Sufyan is helping me out today. Thank you, Dr. Sufyan. So you can add explanation if necessary. Okay, let's go very slowly. In PLSM, data analysis involves 3 stages. Okay, in first stage, we do data screening process and diagnostic test. So the first step is you have to have the data, right? Before you have the data, for PhD students, you have to have the theoretical framework of the study. So some of you are still far from collecting data, right? So you have to pass colloquium 1, right? And then you have to pass the proposal defense. You have to defend chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Then after passing proposal defense, maybe you do some amendments, and then you can have a solid theoretical framework, right? The theoretical framework of your study consists of variables. Okay, you have a dependent variable, you have independent variables, maybe you have mediating variables, and then you have moderating variables. So you discuss with your supervisor, right, about your theoretical framework. Then what do? You design the questionnaire, and then the questionnaire must go through certain validity and reliability testing. So you have to do the content validity, face validity, and you have to do the pilot test, right? So pilot test can be done using PLS SEM. All right. After that, what you do is you go and collect the data. Okay, you have to determine your population of the study. You have to determine the sample of the study. You have to determine the sampling criteria, the sample size. Okay, the sampling criteria, you can choose what criteria you want to use. Simple random sampling, cluster sampling, stratified sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, snowball sampling, systematic sampling, and you discuss with your supervisor. All right.
Prof,
Yes.
maybe before we go further, could you explain why we select PLSM instead of only SPSS? Why we use PLSM? Why
Good
we need
idea.
to use PLSM? When we compare to PLSS, at least we give some idea or some overview to a new student in this session. Because I believe in this session we have a new students also, because if my friend, we already around 12 or 11 weeks, so we understand the framework, why we use PLSM. Maybe you can give some overview why we use PLSM, not only SPSS. Okay, some overview and a little bit about framework, a little bit sampling before we go further deep into our today's session. Okay,
Okay.
Excellent, Dr.
Excellent question, Sufyan.
Excellent.
I will try to explain a little bit, and Dr. Sufyan can add more elaboration. Okay, like I said before.
Yeah, actually we welcome our friend from Indonesia, for Uganda. Okay, you can ask question from participants. You can ask question to our prof. Okay, if you have question, you just ask. Maybe you want to know about frameworks, about variable, you can ask prof for today's session. Okay, jangan malu-malu lah, boleh tanya, boleh ya. Okay, prof.
Okay.
Sorry for interruption.
So what's the advantage of PLS SEM over SPSS, for example, right? So some people, they call SPSS a first generation statistical package, and PLS SEM, AMOS SEM are called the second generation statistical package. So what's the difference? Some people say, okay, I want to do a multiple regression, right? for my PhD, for example. If I can do with regression, why I need simultaneous equation modeling, right? Why we need simultaneous equation modeling? Why we need PLSM? Why we need AMOS? Okay, to make it short, multiple regression analysis explains or analyzes the influence of or the probable cause of one independent variable on the dependent variable, ceteris paribus. Let me repeat. Multiple regression analysis estimates the probable cause of one independent variable we call x1 on the dependent variable we call y, ceteris paribus, assuming other things constant. So x1 influence y, other things cannot change. And the assumption is wrong. The assumption is strong, and in most cases, it's not realistic. One variable influences the other variable, assuming other things constant. Other things do not change. In the real world, it doesn't work like that, right? But at that time, you know, few years back, at that time, we resort to multiple regression, right? Yeah, I was teaching econometrics for like eight years. So we focus on multiple regression in 1990s. At that time, that was the method or the data analysis that we used. But now we have simultaneous equation modeling. So in simultaneous equation modeling, okay, we don't make that assumption. Okay, x1 influence y. At the same time, y also influence other variables. So the probable cause, okay, the cause of one variable on the other variable without assuming the ceteris paribus, without assuming other things do not change. So in the real world, you know, for example, if you have a glass of water, right? Or I don't have glass of water. If you have a glass of water, you shake the glass of water, what happens? The molecules of the water will interact with each other. We cannot see. I'm trying to give an example, right? Suppose you have a glass of water, you shake the water. So actually the water is shaking now. Okay, you can see in my background, there is a waves. There are waves, right? Why waves? We see that the water, you know, the water moves. In other words, the molecules in the water moves and interact with other molecules. So in social science, for example, one variable influence the other variable, interact with other variables, right? And the rest of the variables also move, right? So we can estimate the influence or the probable cause of one variable on the other variable, and the other variable also causes another variable simultaneously or structurally, right? So we don't make that assumption. So that's the idea. So simultaneous equation modeling estimates the cost of the probable cost of one variable on the other variable without assuming other things do not change. Unlike in multiple regression, we have only one equation, right? In that equation, X1 influence Y, and it stopped. Stop there, just one equation. But in structural equation modeling, X1 influence Y, and then X2 simultaneously also influence Y, and other variables also has a probable cause on Y, and Y also has a probable cause on other variables. So the movement doesn't stop. All right, so I think that's the idea, and we need because of the time constraint. So that's the idea. So PLSM is a powerful tool, okay, and it's an alternative to Amos SEM. Okay, so today we will talk about PLSM only. So when you have a theoretical framework that is complex, right, with many independent variables, perhaps you have moderating variable, perhaps you have a mediating variable. So PLSM can do it. I think PLSM is powerful and also friendly. You will see later on, it's friendly. Just like me. Bu Susi, I'm also friendly.
Prof, maybe I can conclude a little bit
Yes,
kepada
please,
kepada peserta yang baru mengenali PLSM. Okay, jika untuk pembelajaran ijazah SPSS tu mencukupi ya. Tolong mute Ustaz.
Can alright. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Sufyan.
Okay. Bagi para pelajar yang awal, pelajar-pelajar awal datang ke PLSM ni ataupun kali pertama kita dengan PLSM ni, untuk peringkat ijazah mencukupi untuk SL ataupun SPSS, apabila kita bergerak ke arah master level ataupun ke arah PhD, kita terpaksa menggunakan level statistik yang tinggi, di mana kita terpaksa menggunakan PLSM. Jika kita mempunyai moderator, mediator, atau kita nak ke arah untuk publish dalam ataupun menerbitkan artikel dalam jurnal-jurnal yang tinggi, maka kesemua reviewer atau panel penilai akan meminta analisis yang lebih tinggi, a higher level of statistical. Kita terpaksa gunakan PLSM lah. Secara umumnya kalau kita nak meningkat dalam akademik ataupun dalam pendidikan ni, kita kena guna PLSM. Tapi kalau di peringkat ijazah, kita guna SPSS pun dah mencukupi. Itu secara general lah, untuk memudahkan ataupun orang kata layman term, ataupun untuk orang yang baru kenal apa itu PLSM. P itu maksud partial, S itu list, S itu square. SEM tu, S tu memang structural, E is equation, M is modeling. When we talk about structural, maksudnya dia ada beberapa equation. Itu secara general lah. Bagi saya cuba entertain bagi partisipan dari Malaysia dan bahasa Melayu, kadang-kadang cakap bahasa Inggeris ni kita nak faham, saya cuba entertain. Okay. Selamat datang semua para pelajar, boleh bertanya di soalan di chatbot dalam bahasa Melayu ataupun bahasa Inggeris. Saya cuba bantu yang boleh saya jawab. Jika tak jawab tu saya akan bertanya di sesi Prof lah. Kalau boleh ada sikit soalan lah supaya kita ada interaction sikit. Itu je Prof. Boleh sambung balik lah. Sorry for interaction.
Thank you, Dr. Sufyan.
Prof, saya ada soalan.
Yes, go ahead. Cik Masri.
Okay.
The question must be easy. You cannot ask difficult questions here.
Alright. In SPSS, how we analyze this mediating and moderating variable, we use hierarchical regression. So from based on this technique, we can answer the hypothesis that involve mediating and modulating variable. Whereby we know that just now we said that smart PLS is better in dealing with that kind of analysis. So when we say just now that smart PLS is better, what is the indication that we judge it is better? Is it simply because it is convenient to perform such analysis, or is it because there is other statistical reason or statistical parameter that we can judge this kind of analysis is better if we perform it under smart PLS compared to we do it in hierarchical analysis using SPSS? Thank you, Prof.
Question. Good question. Two things in which simultaneous equation modeling is I don't know the word. Better, you can say better, is preferred. Two ways structural equation modeling is preferred to multiple regression model. One is, like I said before, in multiple regression model, we estimate the probable cause of one independent variable on the dependent variable, assuming other things do not change, right? And in simultaneous structural equation modeling, we don't make that assumption. Okay, number two, as we will see later, in structural equation modeling, we will do the measurement model. So the measurement model, in the measurement model, the main purpose is to check for the validity and reliability of each of the instruments, so that when we estimate the path coefficients or the structural model, we will get to assess the data that is not only screened and clean, but also valid and reliable. So that's not done in the multiple regression analysis. All right, let's move on because we are short of time. Thank you for the questions anyway.
Prof, saya masuk tambah sikit lah. Boleh,
Sure,
Prof?
sure.
Okey, untuk apa kelebihan PLSM berbanding SPSS? Okey, maksudnya bagi PLSM kita mempunyai reliability, itu kebolehpercayaan, okey, ataupun kita boleh check validity, kesahan. Jadi apa maksudnya? Jika dalam work kita akan ditanya macam mana kita begitu yakin bahawa model kita ni bagus. Kebiasaan dalam SPSS kita boleh kata R² sahaja. Tetapi jika di PLSM kita mempunyai model fit, kita mempunyai nilai-nilai statistik, dan ini memberi keyakinan kita nak jawab driver tu. Perkara ni yang penting. Dan kita dapat tunjuk secara grafik. Maksud grafik macam gambar kan, lukisan kita tunjuk terus grafik beserta dengan numerika ataupun menggunakan nombor. Jadi perkara-perkara inilah bila kita pergi ke arah yang level lagi tinggi, kita perlu grafik dan juga secara numerika ataupun nombor yang mengatakan bahawa data kita betul, method kita betul, setiap variable kita adalah betul dan model kita betul. Itu kelebihan dia lah. Dia maksudnya lebih banyak ujian-ujian yang dilakukan untuk memastikan kajian kita itu adalah menepati kehendak panel sama ada penilai tesis ataupun penilai dalam jurnal. Secara lebih kurang lah untuk saya entertain peserta-peserta yang berbahasa Melayu lah, lebih kurang, Prof. Tapi nampaknya 10.30, Prof. Mungkin boleh laju sikit ke macam mana? Macam mana ke? Okay. Saya ada nampak di page 6 tu ada variable, mungkin Prof boleh cerita sikit kot ataupun macam mana ke?
So the advantage of using PLSM is, number one, we go through the data screening process and diagnostic test thoroughly, right? First of all, before we analyze using PLSM, we need to check for missing data. So if there is missing data, then we cannot analyze. So check for missing data. This one can be done using SPSS, right? You can use, and then you can check for multivariate outliers, the Mahalanobis distance, and if there is a problem with outliers, you have to take certain remedial measures, right? Fortunately, if you use PLSM, PLSM can analyze data that is not normal. So you don't have to check for normality and multicollinearity for PLSM. Because I will explain later, right? The normality and multicollinearity are not assumed, meaning PLSM can still estimate data that are not normal and that it contains multicollinearity. Is all right because we can do the remedial measures later. All right, so anyway, it's a good idea also to check for multicollinearity, although we can estimate, we can assess the structural model with multicollinearity, but it's good idea to check, you know. So according to Hare, if VRF is less than 10, okay, remember that. If VRF is less than 10, then multicollinearity is there is no multicollinearity. Sorry, multicollinearity is said to exist if the tolerance value is less than 0.10. This value is equal to 10 as proposed by 10 VRF as proposed by Hare et al. I have to move very fast. In the second stage, so this is a difference between PLSM and between SEM in general, structural equation modeling and multiple regression analysis. In the structural equation modeling, there is a stage called assessment of measurement model. So in this assessment of measurement model, we need to check for reliability and validity of the constructs. We call constructs, or we call latent variables. Okay, in the theoretical framework, you have variables, independent variables, dependent variables, perhaps mediating variables, moderating variables, we call constructs, or we call latent variables. So all these variables that are included in the theoretical framework of the study must go through and pass the test of reliability and validity. Right, so it's very important, like Dr. Sufyan said, before you analyze the structural model, it's very important that the latent variables or the constructs are tested in terms of the reliability and validity. Not only that, we also check each of the items, okay, in the constructs. Okay, in the construct, can you mute? All right, somebody. Okay, I need to mute somebody. Okay, please, everybody, you can mute, but if you have question, then you can unmute and ask. Thank you. Okay, where are we? Okay, in the second stage, we need to test the reliability and validity of each of the constructs. And also we need to check the significance, the statistical significance of all the items in the constructs, right? So the items in the constructs or in your latent variables should be statistically significant and should be greater than 0.708. So this stage is not done in a multiple regression analysis. So that's one of the advantage of PLSM. We test the reliability and validity of each of the latent variables included in our theoretical framework of the study. And besides the items included in the latent constructs also should pass the statistical significance. All right. All right. You can ask questions. So after testing for the reliability and validity of the constructs, and then testing for the significance of the items in the constructs, then we can do the assessment of structural model. In the assessment of structural model, what we want to do is we want to assess the significance of the beta or the coefficients, right? Just like in the multiple regression, we want to assess the significance of the coefficients in our model, right? And then we want to assess the R square and adjusted R square to assess the goodness of fit, how good our model is. And we want to assess the mediating effect. I think we don't have time for today. Maybe we have another workshop. And then we assess the effect size F square. So we have R square and F square. Okay, so let's get started. For your PhD, you will have complex model, right? You will have a comprehensive theoretical framework of the model. But for the purpose of today's workshop, we cannot estimate the comprehensive model because of the time constraint. So what we're going to do today, I choose 3 latent variables, 3 latent independent variables: attitude, self-efficacy, and religiosity, and 1 dependent variable, which is compliance behavior. So for the purpose of today's workshop, the model is simple, right? But in actual research, in your PhD, right? So your model should be comprehensive and should be more complex. Okay, let's get started with PLS SEM. All right. Where are we? Okay, before we start with PLSM, we need to have the data set. All right, so this is the data set. Can everyone see the data set? This is called the data 1. Can everyone see? Dr. Sufyan?
Boleh, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Yes, we can see.
Yes,
Prof,
we can see that.
maybe I would like to conclude for the first session. So I think for the first session about the theoretical, why we need to do the PLSM, and Prof will show us about a simple framework. Boleh Prof tunjuk simple framework tadi?
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, where do we go?
Simple
Stop
framework.
sharing. Stop
Just on the
sharing.
presentation. Saya
Okay.
nak explain sikit framework tu bagi orang yang baru-baru lah.
Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Sufyan.
Okay, so just this is the simple research framework. Kita ada, we have attitude, self-efficacy, religiosity. Ini contoh bagi contoh bukan master. Compliant behavior. Ini untuk study yang level master. Kalau level PhD, kita ada moderating and mediating. Okay, for level undergraduate level or the master by coursework, we can use this framework, example of framework. Mungkin ada soalan? If you have any question about the framework, ada soalan tak? Maksudnya attitude, self-efficacy, religiosity adalah independent variable, is independent variable. Pemboleh ubah bebas. Menyumbang kepada dependent variable is compliant behavior. The compliant behavior is what we want to measure, we want to know. This is the function of framework. Bagi pelajar-pelajar atau peserta yang membuat soalan kaji selidik atau soalan selidik, framework adalah intipati atau orang kata map, ataupun jika kita nak berjalan tu kita kena bawa pelita ataupun lampu suluh. Jadi pastikan kita mempunyai framework yang betul. Walaupun kita mempunyai data analisis yang betul, tapi jika framework tak betul, teori yang tak betul, maka kita akan sesat lah. Contoh, kita ada map, map tu sesat. Kita nak pergi KL, kita sampai ke tempat lain. Kita sampai KL, kita sampai ke Kelantan, contoh dia. Jadi penting kita mempunyai variable yang betul, framework yang betul, dan pastikan sampling orang yang nak jawab tu betul. Barulah kita akan mendapat data yang elok lah. Sebenarnya macam tu. Prof, mandakan ramai yang baru lagi dengar PLSM ni, boleh tak kita bagi kat diorang rehat sebentar mungkin dalam 3-4 minit untuk diorang berehat untuk minum kopi sekejap sebelum sambung, Prof, boleh tak?
Boleh.
Boleh. So para peserta kita rehat sekejap 5 minit. Kita rehat sebentar dalam 5 minit. Boleh semua peserta reply sikit dekat chat tu, boleh ke tak? Kalau tidak kita sambung lagi 5 jam. Boleh tak kita rehat untuk 5 minit? We're going to rest for about 5 minutes. Maybe you can take coffee. You can go to the washroom. Before we go for more comprehensive session. Lepas tu tak ada rehat. So boleh rehat sekejap dalam 5 minit, Prof.
Yes, 5 minutes boleh.
Okay, dalam masa ni boleh download data-data Excel. Mungkin yang tak ada PLSM lagi boleh download dekat PLSM. Okay, so that after 5 minutes you are refresh again to start with the Excel, and then we go for the PLSM. Boleh, Prof? Saya rasa macam itulah keberana.
Ya, boleh.
Okay, so we start again.
You can download.
What time, Prof? We start again.
What now? We start at 10:45. Right? I will be back 10:45.
Okay, saya dah tulis dekat chatbox tu. 10:45 kita mula balik supaya kita flash balik. Kita nak tengok balik Excel, nak tengok PSM tu agak sakit kepala sikit. Jadi kita rehat sebentar, sambung lagi pada pukul 10.45. Boleh, Prof? We continue again at 10:45.
Duit zam. Harus hati-hati di sini. Menerima karena dia seorang amil, karena dia bukan amil, tapi menerima karena dia itu adalah siapa? Orang fakir boleh. Kemudian tadi sebagai anak laki-laki misalnya kalau bapak ibunya jatuh fakir, dia di bawah naungannya. Kecuali orang tuanya hidup sendiri, maka dia tetap dengan kefakirannya. Bahkan kalau hidup sendiri, duitnya sang anak zakatnya pun boleh diberikan. Tapi kalau hidup di bawah naungannya tidak.
Assalamualaikum, Bro. Gimana, Bro? Di rumah? Nggak kerja kalau Sabtu, Bro? Alhamdulillah. Masih di kantor yang lama, Bro? Hah? Oh, masih. Udah normal kantornya? Kalau ini volume usahanya udah normal? Apa bidang usahanya? Oh, perkebunan mah nggak keganggu krisis ya, orang makan ya. Perkebunan apa, Bro? Waduh, itu mah lagi naik daun, Bro. Harga naik terus, Bro ya? Bonus kencang dong, Bro. Oh gitu, anak perusahaannya ada yang rugi juga? Anak perusahaannya di gerak bidang apa sampai rugi? SMP? SIMP itu apa tuh? Oh, saling informasi juga. Tapi perkebunan apa bidangnya sama? Kelapa sawit juga? Ah, loh, kok bisa rugi, Bro? Waduh, Salim itu yang punya minyak goreng, Bro ya? Waduh. Berapa juta hektar tuh, Bro, lahannya? Oh gitu. Di Sumatera, di Kalimantan? Waduh. Keren, Bro ya? Baik, ini udah 15 orang, kita tunggu bentar lagi. Yang sudah ini bisa diaktifkan kameranya ya? Kenapa pada nggak mau ngaktifin kamera? Usman, kenapa Usman? Nah gitu dong, Fauzan. Nah, ini kan Fauzan kalau di rumah kan juga nggak kalah ganteng dibanding di kantor ya. Mautik, Siti Nuria. Nah, Nisa nih mau kemana Nisa? Oke, nggak apa-apa. Itu hebatnya kuliah di zaman COVID gini kan ya. Emang luar biasa. Orang lagi menggunakan berpikir ke depan, mimpi-mimpi itu katanya kita jadi pakai hologram tuh. Jadi Heru pada saat yang sama bisa di beberapa tempat. Kira-kira gimana tuh kalau teknologi sampai ke sana? Patrick Harpon percaya, soalnya dia kadang kalau Jumatan suka ke Mekah. Jadi ke depan walaupun Patricknya yang lagi ada di misalnya di Jakarta, ini bahaya juga tuh ya. Jumat di Mekah kalau jam yang sama itu belum Jumat, baru jam 10 di Mekahnya. Gitu ya. Jadi kalau Patrick mau Jumat di Mekah lagi sholat asar lah Patricknya. Beda 4 jam nggak ya dengan Mekah soalnya. Itu kabarnya, Ru. Mimpi-mimpi lagi sedang disusun, katanya gimana teknologi hologram ini memang bisa wujud. Jadi Fauzan bisa saat yang sama lagi ada Fauzan 1 lagi di kantor ini, Fauzan 2 lagi di cloning tapi hologram tuh. Nah ini kan luar biasa ya. Kalau emang iya mimpi-mimpinya bisa, waduh. Mana tuh bisa kita nggak? Apa mimpi Fauzan kira-kira 20 tahun yang akan datang, Zan? Fauzan mimpinya 20 tahun yang akan datang punya istri solihah, punya anak udah punya berapa orang, Fauzan? Nah, tuh. Saya promosikan nih kan. Eru dulu Pak, Eru Pak. Eru ya. Kalau bab gitu nggak kayak angkot, Zan. Nggak mesti antri. Baiklah ya. Ini udah 18 orang, tapi kita mulai aja.
FEB UI.
Siapa yang 3 orang yang suka nggak hadir di kelas ini?
Sorry for interruption. For FEB UAI, could you mute your mic? Okay. For all
Kita ini
participants,
semua 23 mestinya.
please
Ya, 23
mute
ya.
your mic. Okay.
Siapa, Ru, yang nggak gabung, Ru?
Ibu Tuti kenal tak ni? Siapa ni? Ibu Tuti. Ibu Tuti. Ibu Tuti kenal
Iya.
tak? Ada seorang participant ni from FB UI, Ade Wirban Syafi'i. Could you mute your mic? Okay. Before we start our session. Okay. Okay, thank you. And thank you for the cooperation. Okay. Okay. Okay, selamat datang kepada peserta. Sama ada melalui Facebook Live ataupun melalui sesi Zoom. Okay, selamat datang ke webinar PLS untuk hari ini. Jadi webinar ini adalah berbentuk dari segi praktikal dan juga ia adalah berkenaan research. Jadi memanglah bila kita belajar research ni dia memulakan pemahaman dan agak sukar sikit kita nak faham di permulaan dia. Jadi jika tak faham atau ada sebarang kita kata benda yang tak jelas atau perlukan pencerahan, boleh bertanya dari segi chat ataupun terus bertanya pada Prof. Untuk untuk kita punya pencerahan lah, untuk kita memahami apa itu PLSM, bagaimana membina framework, bagaimana membina variable termasuk membina framework memilih sesuatu teori tersebut, how we select teori. Prof, tadi saya cuma terangkanlah sebelum kita start balik, saya cuma terangkan apa yang para peserta dapat lakukan. Kita tanya soalan lah Prof ya.
Ya. Terima kasih Dr. Sufian.
Okay.
Saya pergi minum kopi tadi.
Okay, so for my friend in Uganda, tadi kita we already have break time. You can go for the Fajar prayer. For Ibu Tuti, you can go for washroom or you can get some coffee to make sure we are fresh again for the next session. Okay, for all of our participants, could you reply in chat if you hear? You say I'm here, something I'm here, I'm ready. I'm here, I'm ready in chat box. Boleh reply sikit tak? Tulis dekat chat box tu, ya saya kat sini. Itu boleh. So we know that you are here. We are not alone, okay? Okay. Madi Hasib ready here. Mr. Azizo, very good participant today.
Mr. Syed Iradat, are you ready? Say something.
Okay, thank you for all participants for still masih setia hingga ke sesi ini. Still continue. Okay, so if you have a question, you can ask. Whether it's a just simple question, any question actually you can ask our professor. Okay, so during the practical session, if you have the PLSM software, it's better. Or you have Excel also, it's better. If you do not have the software, you just want to hear our professor, our lovely voice of our professor, it's okay. And our professor will also explain. So if you want to know something, you can write in the chat box, or you can ask directly to our professors. So welcome again to our participants from Facebook Live, also from the Zoom link. Okay, we are on air from the Unisham today, Unisham for webinar in PLS SEM with our speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Yusuf Haji Osman. We have published profitly in academic journal. So nak tanya pasal journal boleh, nak tanya pasal statistik boleh, nak tanya apa peluang-peluang belajar dekat Unisham pun boleh, nak tanya apa pun boleh lah, Prof. Kecuali bukan personal, Prof. Personal tak boleh, Prof. Personal tak boleh kan?
Ya.
Personal tak boleh lah kan? Boleh tanya
personal
bab
tak
belajar.
boleh lah.
Okey, itu je. Untuk personal tak boleh. Untuk bab belajar. Okay, saya paskan session untuk Prof. Boleh sambung lagi sekali, Prof.
Okay, thank you, Dr.
Okey,
Sufyan.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. So this workshop is recorded and also is on FB Live. So Dr. Sufyan, can you share the link to our Telegram and also to our YouTube channel?
Boleh, Prof. Boleh.
I will upload this recording workshop on the YouTube channel, Dr. Yusuf TV, and also on our Telegram, Advanced Research Method. And I will also share the book on PLSM written by Hare. Because of the time constraint, I cannot explain everything about the PLSM. So I will share with you, the book is actually more than 200 ringgit. All right, but I will share with you, it's free. It's an ebook free. So I'm collecting pahala. I'm trying to collect as much pahala as possible, as much hasanah as possible today. So I will share with you the book also on PLSM. I will share in the Telegram. Okay, so you just join our Telegram. Okay, let's continue. Like Dr. Sufyan said, for PhD, right? In order to construct the theoretical framework of the study, you need to pass the PhD proposal defense, and usually you'll be asked about your theoretical framework. So you'll be asked about the underpinning theory that you use and the other theories that you use, and perhaps new variables that you use. So for PhD, it's more complex. It's more comprehensive. It's more complex. You need to defend. You need to justify. So for PhD, it's complex. But for today's workshop only, so I just throw out, this theoretical framework of the study. Because of the time constraint, I cannot estimate the what they call the comprehensive theoretical framework of the study. This is just for today's workshop, just for exercise, All right. So before we go to PLS to analyze the data, we need to have the data set, right? So this is a data set that I'm sharing with you. It has 100 observations, meaning 100 respondents, right?
Tak nampak, Prof. We cannot see from our screen.
Cannot see.
Ya.
Okay,
Kita tak nampak. Okay.
Again.
Okay. Jadi pada pelajar yang kalau ada access tu, you can download the data from our WhatsApp group or our Telegram. You can download the data from that particular platform lah. Ada data semua ni. Cuba reply sikit. Ada data tak? Sebab kalau tak ada data, macam mana nak buat kan? Dia mula-mula data dulu kan. Data tak ada buat apa kan. Boleh reply sikit, ada data. Kalau tak reply tu tak ada data. Ada. Okay, our Mr. Masri said kan. Tadi dia tanya kerja kosong kan. Okay, Mr. Masri, thank you for downloading the data. For our participants, first we need to download the data. So if we can see in our screen, there is 4, 5, 2. This questionnaire use the 5 scale Likert scale. Maksudnya questionnaire ni ada scale 1, 2, 3, 4 dan 5. Ada scale 7, ada scale 8, ada scale 9. Tapi for Likert scale kebanyakan lah social science buat scale 1 hingga 5. Sebab tu kita tengok 5. Kalau scale dia 10 ada sampai 10. Macam tu Prof
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Dr.
our professor will talk in English, I will talk in Malay actually. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
So it will benefit everybody, right?
Okay. So kalau kita tengok dekat gambar rajah ataupun di paparan in our screen, we can see the data. So you will ask again, what is number 1? What is number 2? Prof will start again with talk what is gender, what is what? What, male or female, age, marital, education, position, grade, income, and why use 81, 82? Why not use Q1, Q2? Why Prof setting the structure like this? The professor will explain in detail why he choose this structure. Okay, actually sebenarnya saya bagi jawapan sebenarnya nak bagi senang kita lah sebenarnya ni. Tak apa. Next, the professor will explain to us why we use this structure kan. Tiba-tiba nampak banyak sangat nombor. Kadang ada pelajar jumpa saya tu sakit kepala tengok nombor. Tapi sebenarnya ini sikit lagi sebenarnya. Untuk PhD level kita ada banyak soalan. For master level tak apalah, lebih kurang macam ni boleh So itu Prof. Sorry for interruption. You can continue your session.
Thank you, Dr. Sufyan. It's very useful because sometimes maybe the way I explain is a little bit high level. So Dr. Sufyan explained from the beginning. So it benefits everybody, especially for the beginners, right? Okay. So Rn refers to respondent number. So in this case, actually in the actual data set, I have 372. But for today's workshop, I choose only the first 100 respondents. Why? Because of if you don't have PLSM 3, PLSM version 3, then you can download PLSM version 2, which is free. Okay, PLSM 2 is free, but the limitation is it can only estimate up to 100. So you can download PLSM 2 and you can play around, to get familiarized with PLSM. So I give you 100 only for the purpose of our workshop. But for actual research and actual thesis PhD, right, you need to have the number of respondents should correspond to your sample size, right? So for example, if your sample size is 382, so you should have 382 respondents here. All right, so Rn is respondent number. So you just mark 1, 2, 3. And in your questionnaire, also on the top right of your questionnaire, you mark respondent number 1, number 2, etc. So that if anything, you can always refer back to your questionnaire. So don't throw out your questionnaire.
Terima kasih ya.
During this pandemic, right? You cannot go and collect face-to-face questionnaire.
You cannot.
Usually, what you do is you do the Google form questionnaire. Still, you can print out and mark your questionnaire. All right, gender, you can, PLS doesn't recognize male and female, so you just code 1 male, 2 female. Age, everything you need to code, right? According to numbers. So marital status, 1 single, 2 married, 3 divorced, something like that. Education, For example, high school 1, degree 2, postgraduate 3. Post is the position. Okay, grade, income, etc. So, and then the first construct is attitude. So in the attitude construct, 81 refers to the first item in the attitude construct, right? So we have many constructs. Sorry, many items in the attitude construct. Okay.
Mungkin dari pelajar ada soalan yang berkenaan data, macam kita menyusun data. For those participants, for all participants, before you step to the PLSM, you need to know how we rearrange or recording the respondent. We got this input from respondent. Reference number RN is respondent number. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So if something happened or there is something mistyping, so we know which respondent make the or during the case there's a mistake. That's why we have respondent number RN. But we cannot put respondent name, okay? Because in research we cannot put the name of the respondent. Otherwise nobody will answer your question. Okay? We just put number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Number. Do not put name. Okay, put gender and make sure when you write your data, tulis atas kertas satu ni male. Kadang tertukar jadi female kan. Jadi laki perempuan kan. Satu, one is male. Contoh, example, one is male. 2 is female. So you need to write, jot down on the paper, what is number 1. For example, 3, what is 3, what is 1. So we call it data coding. It means that you need to write 1 for male, 2 for female. And okay, bro, we can see that too many attitude question is until 24. Why you select 24, bro? Maybe you can give some advice how to select the number of question and how you select participant and how you key inside this data set before you further for the PLSM.
So in this case, I have 24 items for attitude. I have how many items for subjective norm? SN is subjective norm, KN is knowledge, PR is promotion, SE self-efficacy, LA is perception towards law, and many variables. But for today's workshop, I will focus on only a few variables. IR is Islamic religiosity. IN is intention, CB is compliance behavior. So for PLSM, it is recommended that for each of the latent construct, can someone mute? All right. So everybody please mute. Unless you have question, then you can unmute. All right. So for each of the latent construct, okay, it is recommended that you have at least 6 items, right? So anything above 6 is all right. So for attitude,
Prof, item here mean question, right? So untuk peserta, item yang Prof cakap tu adalah soalan. Contohnya 81 soalan pertama, 82 soalan kedua. Item. Jadi orang yang baru pada PLSM, item is soalan. Nak kita tanya item tu benda apa item lah kalau benda lain item lain. Betul bro, for in this workshop, item mean questions. Okay.
Yes, items mean question in your questionnaire. Okay, so for attitude, why I have 24, because it happens that for the latent variable attitude, there are 4 types of dimensions of attitude. So for each dimensions, I choose 6 items. So 6 times 4 is 24. So it depends. As long as your items is greater than 6 items. Okay, so this is the data that you input. So after collecting the questionnaire, right, you need to input your data into either Excel or SPSS. So I'm not going to discuss that one because it was discussed in the previous workshop. And because we are running short of time, there are a lot more cover. We haven't even touched PLS SEM yet. This is Excel. Okay.
Bro, kalau tak habis minggu ni boleh sambung minggu depan kot. Nah? Jangan risau. Okay. What I said, if we cannot cover all today, maybe Pro also can send in next week so we can have better understanding.
Okay, okay.
Just interruption. Sorry, Pro. Okay, please continue.
It's okay. So, okay, if we cannot finish today, we can continue next week. Then I don't have to rush. I'm trying to rush here because we have 3 hours, right? Right.
Takut semua orang tak faham, bro. Laju-laju sangat tak faham. Better macam kita slow sikit. Minggu depan boleh sambung lagi kan. Macam mana, bro? Betul. Ramai yang baru sebab ramai yang baru mungkin dia nak tahu macam mana. Kenapa pilih 5? Tak ada orang tanya ke soalan tu. Kenapa pilih, why we use 5 Likert scale? Why you 7 Likert scale? Why you use 9 Likert scale? Tak ada orang tanya ke? Saya seorang yang tanya ni. Okay, mungkin from Mr. Wirman, Miss Ficha, Ibu Tuti, do you have any question in the data? Because the data should be have a proper data to make sure you can get a proper output. Okay. Tak ada soalan? Boleh sambung lah, Prof.
Yes, I'm looking at the question. You can post a question. Okay. You can post any question. Okay. Any particular question? All right. Okay, so this is a data set. You can discuss with your supervisor about how many items should be there. It should be based on previous studies. So what I'm trying to say is before you input the data, your questionnaire must go through the items in the questionnaire, must go through the validity and reliability test. It must go through the content validity, phase validity. You have to do the pilot test. Then you go out and collect the data. You have to determine your population of the study, the sample size, and then the sampling technique, whether you want to use simple random sampling or stratified sampling or cluster sampling or purposive sampling, quota sampling, convenience sampling. What type of sampling you should discuss with your supervisor. Then you send out your questionnaire according to the sampling technique. Then you collect the data and then you input into Excel. All right, so this is your Excel worksheet, and you need to save your Excel here as comma delimited, You click File, right, and then where is it? File, Save. Where is Save As? Dr. Sufyan, where is Save As? File, Save As. All right, file save as. You need to save your file as the comma delimited. Comma delimited means, for example, you save data1.csv. Data1.csv. So file save as, comma delimited. I'm in trouble here. There is no function save as, but this file is already saved as.
Prof, sorry, Prof.
As
Maybe you can click export to.
Where is it?
It's there under file.
File, okay.
There's an option export to.
Okay, export to, good. Export to Excel.
But there's no option
CSV.
of comma delimited.
CSV here, CSV.
CSV, yeah.
Okay, good, thank you. Thank you. So you can go to export to and then CSV. All right. And then it says next. Okay, then you export to your folder. All right, then it's done. Okay. Then it's done. So this is the data set saved as .csv. Saved as .csv. .csv means comma delimited. All right, .csv. Just remember that. Save as .csv. Chinese, Singapore, Vietnam. Chinese, Singapore, Vietnam, CSV. All right. We are done with data. Now we go to our friend PLS SEM.
Tak nampak lagi ya, Prof? Kita tak nampak lagi ya.
I'm trying to find PLS SEM here.
Okay.
What I cannot find.
Okay, sekarang dah nampak.
Can you
Started
see?
screen.
Can you see?
Started screen.
Boleh nampak tak?
Screen.
Boleh nampak tak? Smart PLS.
Okay. Okay, dah nampak dah. Dah nampak dah, Prof. Okay, Prof. We can see it. Okay.
Okay, as you can see, this is the Smart PLS package, right? Okay, first thing, you need to create new project. Okay, new project. Okay, you rename. For example, you say workshop, any name that you like, workshop 3. All right. So you say workshop 3. Okay, then you click OK. So now you are in workshop 3. And then double click to import data. You double click to import data and then find your data here. Okay. Data1.csv. I click that one. Name data1. Okay. Now you can see the data on your right side here. So we have the same set of data: gender, age, marital status, attitude, etc. So as you can see here, there is no missing data here, right?
Excuse me, Prof.
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
I'm very sorry, but I'm very sorry. My broadband had a problem, my internet, but I missed the stage where you, from Excel, that's where my data got off. Now I've saved the new project, but I can't import my data. Maybe I missed a step from the data.
Okay, okay. you need to save your data set as data, for example, data1.csv. Okay, first you need to create the new project.
Yes.
Mr. Hamza, now you click new project, right? And then you create,
Yes.
for example, you can say Hamza here. You can name any name.
Yes.
Okay, then you click. Okay. And then on top, try to double click and find your data. You have to know where your data is.
Now, I can't. It's not coming in PLSM. I missed from Excel. I need it to get it from Excel to PLS, but I can't get it.
You just double click. Okay.
Do I have to save?
Let me show you, for example, okay, Hamza.
Maybe.
I type Hamza here. All right. Then click OK. Right. On top here, it says double click to import data. Right.
Okay.
Can you see?
Where?
Here,
Okay.
double click to import data.
Okay.
You double click. Okay.
Mm.
And then here, I have in my computer data1.csv.
Okay. Let
Then
me do it.
click that one. Okay. In name, you can name anything. We just name is as data1. Click OK. Right.
Data1. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got it?
It has come now.
Oh, good.
Yes. Now, thank you, Prof.
Welcome. So I delete your name. All right. So we go to workshop 3 here, right? So this is the data. Right. So this is the data. What do we do next is, remember, we need to do the data screening and check for outliers. So we need to check the missing data. So we check here, there is no missing data, right? 0 here means 0 missing data. So it should be okay. Mean, median, and we check for outliers. Okay. The next step is we want to check for normality and multicolinearity. What is normality? Normality means that your data has a bell-shaped. Your data is bell-shaped, right? Fortunately for PLSM users, that's what I like about PLSM. You can still estimate, you can still assess or estimate even if your data is not normal, right? So don't worry about normality. And PLSM also is good because even if your data contains multicolinearity, right? You can still estimate, and it will cure the multicolinearity problem later. All right. Okay. So we are done in the first stage. We check for missing data. We check for outliers. We don't have to check for normality and multicolinearity.
Prof, could you explain how we check the outliers in this screen, and how we check the normality, and how we check the missing data if for missing column, right? And how about outliers? Where we check? How we check it?
Okay, good question.
Saya bantu dia orang je lah. Ni saya tahu, saya bantulah. Kod dia pun tak tahu kan.
Dr. Sufyan, you help me out. The normality, usually we check using SPSS, and outliers we check using SPSS, using Mahalobi's D square divided by degrees of freedom. I think we cover in SPSS, so I'm not going to cover today. Or if you can explain a little bit, because today I just want to go to the assessment of measurement and assessment of structural model. Or you can explain a little bit, Dr. Sufyan. Usually we don't do in PLSM. The data screening process we do in SPSS. So SPSS is also necessary before we study the before we use PLSM.
Usually for participants, when we import the data, so we can get like descriptive analysis in your screen. So in your screen, kat screen
So
nampak in your screen.
I will show the data set, right?
Okay. Bro, tak apa kat sini tak apa bro. Saya explain kat sini je lah.
Okay, okay.
So in your screen, you can see there is a mean, median, okay. Missing value, if you do not fill in, then it should be there is a missing value. Okay, kalau tak isi tu ada missing value lah. So you can see the mean, okay, median, then you can see the standard deviation. Or standard deviation is a small for the question lah. For 81, starting for 81, okay, less than 1, it should be show a good data. Okay, then we check on the kurtosis. We can see a small value of kurtosis, which is less than it should be less 2 to -2. It show that a good data distribution. So this is the first step that you can familiarize yourself with the data. Maksud kita kenal data kita ni okay, kita tengok kurtosis, stickiness, daripada sini kita dapat detect lah jika berlaku sekarang yang data-data yang tak betul lah. Dari sini kita dah nampak bahawa this a good distribution of data. Itu pada pelajar lah, kita tengok. Selagi tak tahu kita klik benda apa ni, kita klik ni, at least kita tahu bahawa data-data kita ni data yang okay lah. Okay. We should know that our data is a good data lah, good and clean data. There is no outliers, something like that.
Yes. And you can also use the Mahalobi's D square over degrees of freedom. Actually, I forgot that one. So here you can see the value of skewness is small. The value of kurtosis also small. Standard deviation also small. So it should be all right. No missing data. So for PLSM, we are not worried too much about the skewness to test for normality, because we can still run the data using PLSM even if the data is not normal. All right. So for the first stage, it's not as thorough as in Amos SEM. So if you use Amos SEM in this stage, it has to be more thorough. You have to check for normality. You have to check for multicolinearity. You have to check for outliers. So if you use Amos SEM, this step is thorough. Wait 1 minute. All right. So that's what I would say. The advantage.
For this week, maybe we can go slowly, and then next week also we can go for again, so to make sure we can understand better kot rasanya.
Okay.
So tak perlu rushing bro, takut ramai tertinggal. So we can go slowly today, and then next week again we can go and relearning the tutorial again maybe.
Okay.
For your information, I'm keen, or saya ni Amos, my professor ni PLSM, so we always quarrel.
So
it's not quarrel.
We always we always fight. I always fight with Dr. Sufyan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm using Amos and our professor is using PLSM. There is some limitation, which is we call it strength and weakness, both of the methods. So we just need to know both of methods. We not say that one is better than another one, but we want to know what is the strength and weakness for each of the method. Maksudnya kita kena berlapan dada lah. Mungkin yang method ni ada lebih, method ni ada kurang. Bukan kita bergaduh, maksudnya kita berlapan dada. Kita belajar semua method supaya kita dapat menguasai ke semua method ni lah. So untuk hari ni para peserta kita belajar mengenai basic PLSM, basic. Mungkin minggu depan Prof akan bawa lagi ke moderator. So hari ni kalau ada soalan boleh tanya. You can ask question about PLSM or MS, but we focus on the PLSM today. We go slowly because we have a various background of the students or participant. By the way, please bear with us lah kan. Mungkin maybe it's very slow. We want to make sure that at least student get something from this workshop. Kalau kita pergi laju-laju pun kita tak dapat pun, there is some meaning for the workshop. We try to go a little bit slow to make sure all of students can get benefits to this. Very good speakers from our group speakers. We will learn something. If not finished by today, we can continue again in the next week. So we can go slowly. Go, Prona?
Yes, Dr. Sufyan,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So sometimes we quarrel, right? Because I like PLS and Dr. Sufyan like Amos. So no, just kidding. Just joking. So actually, you can use either PLS or Amos. So it's like choosing Honda and Toyota, I think. You can choose Honda or you can choose Toyota. Both have advantage, right? So Dr. Sufyan like Honda and I like Toyota. All right. So I was saying the advantage of using PLS is in the first stage, right? In the first stage, data screening and diagnostic checking. Remember, the first stage is called data screening and diagnostic checking. Data screening, you have to check for missing data. You have to check for outliers, if any. You have to check for normality. You have to check for multicolinearity. The normality means the data is bell-shaped. It's bell-shaped. All right. So in statistics, the larger the sample, the distribution tends to be normal. Remember, let me repeat. In statistics, the larger the sample size, it tends to be normal. So in PLSM, the data doesn't have to be normal. We will see later why. And the data, if it contains multicolinearity, we can still estimate because the problem of multicolinearity will be remedied or cured simultaneously. Okay, we are done with the first stage, data screening process and diagnostic checking. So the purpose of the first stage here is to make sure, like Dr. Sufyan said, the data that we are going to be working on has no problem. The data is screened and is clean and ready to be analyzed. So that's the advantage of PLSM. It's screened, it cleaned the data so that the data is ready to be analyzed in stage 2. All right, are you guys ready to go to stage 2 or we need another break?
Pro, ada sejam lagi. Saya tu macam kena run je. I think we left you another 60 minutes. Then it's better Pro go directly to the second stage. After first stage is data screening. We import from the Excel, put in CFV, and develop the workshop. Workshop means the project title. And then we import the data from CFV, we know our data is clean, there is no outliers. Then we go for the second step. Boleh, Prof?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay.
So we are
Okay.
done with the data screening process. Okay, so the
Prof,
data looks okay. The data looks clean. The data
Prof,
looks. Yes.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Masri.
Prof, what if kalau kita ada soalan apa reverse scale question? Kalau saya ingat kalau dalam SPSS tu before pursue with analysis kita akan revert balik skill untuk soalan-soalan reverse anchor question. So kalau dalam Smart PLS ni macam mana kita buat?
You can do in SPSS also reverse scale, and in Smart PLS also we can do the reverse code. We haven't reached that stage yet, Mr. Masri. We are in the first stage. When we do the third stage, that is assessment of the structural model, we have to do the reverse code if there are items that we call the negative. What do you call it? The negative item. Yeah.
Prof, maybe I will add a little bit for all of the participants where we are designing the questionnaire. We need to make sure all our scale in one direction. One direction maksud dia kena kalau kita tanya positif, kita tanya positif semua. Ada lecturer dia suka bubuh negatif dekat tengah tu. Kalau boleh elakkan. Sebab kita takut kita terlupa nak switch dia punya scale tu. Kalau boleh jangan buat negatif, kita buat make all positive. Because the respondent love positive.
Betul juga. I think yang tu adalah one of the technique kita nak memastikan kita punya respondent tu adalah reliable.
Ya, betul.
Whereby kita guna anchor. Tapi bila kita nak memastikan our data is fit for the next, I think for the second analysis macam kita nak buat reliability ataupun ni, kita dah patutnya reverse balik anchor tu kepada normal. Align dengan the other item-item kan.
I will show.
For experienced researcher,
I will show it in the third stage.
Okay. For experienced researcher, you can do as what Miss suggested just now. You can add negative and positive. But for a novice researcher, my suggestion is you make all positive. Sebab lagi terlupa nak tukar kan. Dia jadi tak significant. Jadi kalau you are novice, you make all the positive. But if you experience, you want to test whether this respondent is really answer or just buat tak tahu kan. Itu we can include the negative. But from my experience when I handling students, novice make all positive. When you go for PhD or you are more experienced teacher, you can try to that one. If not, you forgot to change the scale and then become all the significant relationship become not significant. But you can also follow Dr. Masri like if you have negative, you want to make sure the respondent they will call it common method bias. Tapi itu we want to make sure our respondent answer or not answer. That's why we put negative. But for the novice, if you think you are novice, I'm a novice, go for all positive. If not, you will forget to change the scale, and then you think why my recitation should be significant, it become not significant. Then you think you format again your computer, you install, reinstall, install, reinstall. Actually, what you do is you make a different question. Your question should be in positive. So more novice researcher, go all positive, okay? My suggestion. But you experience, you can positive, negative, okay? But more novice, my suggestion only positive. Mr. Masri is our expert, it's okay. but for new beginner, kalau saya cakap positif, negatif, dapat semua tak signifikan, dia dah pening dah. Banyak pelajar masa dah pening dah. PhD kenapa tak signifikan? Just sharing my experience that if you're novice, go all positive. But if you're experienced, you can put in negative to make sure your respondent is alert what they are doing. Something like that. Mungkin Prof boleh macam tu. Mungkin Prof have a better idea.
I agree. It's better to make all in one direction lah. Cuma I thought that that kalau ada reverse anchor tu, it is done in the first place dia akan dibuat pada fasa yang pertama, sebab kalau dalam SPSS pun before we calculate the mean and the standard deviation, kita akan dulu reverse balik reverse anchor question tu. Macam ni, once kita export from SPSS, kita dapati dia dah kira dah mean, standard deviation, the cuma itulah I wonder lah kalau ada benda tu patut tak kita buat pada phase yang pertama ataupun kita move to the next phase dengan reverse anchor tu belum lagi kan.
It's better to do in SPSS. You do the reverse coding in SPSS. Yes. I will talk about it a little bit in the third stage. Okay. I remember one of my master students, she did a reverse coding. No, she had the negative statement in the questionnaire and she didn't do the reverse coding. So what happens when she did the regression analysis, the results, what do you say? The results are not as expected. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe I add some explanation about the negative question. Sometimes the respondent not willing to answer the question of the negative. Contoh macam ni, ataupun it's not respondent tak faham apa kita tanya. Contoh macam ni, kalau saya tanya, adakah anda kurus? Saya akan jawab 5 lah. Saya kurus. Kalau kita tanya, adakah anda gemuk? Saya tak nak jawab soalan tu contohnya. Jadi bila saya ada pelbagai pelajar, bila dia menggunakan ayat-ayat positif ni ramai orang nak jawab. Bila negatif dia tak nak jawab. Contoh macam itulah kan. Contoh aja, contoh. Ini bukan. Tapi bila kita menggunakan positif, respondent willing to answer our question, then we are happy lah kan sebab orang nak jawab. Kalau orang tak jawab, kita not happy lah, something like that lah. Cadangan saya kita guna positif lah. Okay. For novice. Novice.
Yeah, I agree because I remember my master student, she had negative statement in the questionnaire, but she didn't do the reverse coding. So the results are nonsense. The result doesn't make sense. So I had to explain to her to do the reverse coding, and then it was a hassle for me to do the reverse coding for her. Like Mr. Masri said, okay, if you have a negative statement, you should do the reverse coding. For the expert in SPSS, my suggestion is to do the reverse coding in SPSS. Yes, I agree. Before we import the data here, otherwise it might be messy. It might be messy. Bukan Messi yang main bola tu. It might be messy. All right. So, okay. Let's go to the next step, the measurement of the assessment of measurement model. We want to check for the reliability and validity of the latent construct, and also we want to check the statistical significance of the items. All right, let's go. We ready? Click calculate. All right. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me try again. Okay, we create new project. Workshop 4. Okay, double click to import data. Data1.csv. All right. Okay. This thing is disturbing me. All right. Okay, so all right, so here is our data, right? You click on calculate. Oh, it doesn't come out. Okay, so what do we do now? Okay, first, we are here, workshop.spl. Okay, we are here. What we do now is we want to put our latent variable. Okay, click on the latent variable. Okay, we have 3, 4 latent variable. Can everyone see? Dr. Sufyan, boleh nampak? Eh?
Boleh nampak merah-merah.
Okay.
Mungkin Prof, maybe you can explain why we use circle, it's not blue, why use the red, and how do we rearrange. Okay, so what is latent variable? You can explain what is the latent, why we use latent variable, and boleh Prof, cerita sikit dulu Prof, what is latent? Mungkin ada for a newcomer, you do not understand latent. So kita kena tahu nama, orang kata kenal maka tak cinta. So latent ni kita tahu apa maksud latent sebenarnya. Tak apalah kita discuss sikit sebab kita ada 2 minggu, minggu ni minggu depan. So kita discuss sikit, okay eh. Bila nak selamat diri, so saya selamat. Minggu depan saya tak buat workshop. Prof faham buat. Okay,
oh, that is the trick, huh?
Yeah. Maybe we can explain what is the latent, why we call it latent. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Prof.
Okay. So the first, okay. So in our model, we have the construct, or sometimes we call the latent variables. Okay. When we say latent variable, it means the variable that is still in the conceptual stage. We cannot. It's just something in your mind, right? We don't know how to measure. So we have, for example, here 4 variables or 4 constructs or 4 latent variables, means the variables that are not yet measured. Yeah, it's just something like the idea, but it's not measured yet. Okay, so the first one is attitude. Okay, the second one is remember, the second one is self-efficacy.
Prof, what is Prof doing is Prof rename is rename. Prof tengah rename. Kita nak tukarlah. If we can see in screen, what Prof doing is Prof is rename the latent variable. Why we call latent? Because it's unobserved. It's just opinion. It's just perception. Contoh, kalau orang tanya berapa banyak duit dalam poket, kita kata RM5. That is not the latent. Then how happy you are today? That is latent. Today I'm happy 70%. Something that is latent. Mean that it cannot directly measure. That's what we call latent. Now, Prof are doing to rename the variable. Click rename. Prof we click rename, and then Prof we change the name. Jangan kita punya study lain kita pun tiru compliant behavior. No, if your different study, you can change the name, including change the theory, not follow the theory by our prof. So you can change the name, change the variable. Okay. So here you can see it's in graphical. If you send to the journal, so the more people, more reviewer, when we compare between numerical and graphical, kebiasaan orang ni suka tengok grafik macam kita. We can see grafik, oh color merah gitu. So kalau grafik ni mudah nak lepas pada jenis-jenis tahap atas lah. If you have a graphical analysis, the more reviewer are keen to accept our journal, and more reviewers will say that our study is good, our analysis is good, then they will understand what we are doing, something like that. So the first step is Prof click the latent variable, bring to our workspace or atau paper atau kertas ni, then we change the name. So if you have different variable, so you change to your variable lah. Nak bahasa Melayu boleh, bahasa Arab boleh. Boleh, Prof bahasa Arab boleh ke? Bahasa Melayu dengan bahasa Inggeris ke? Dua kot? Kita
bahasa Arab tak tahulah.
Okay, so we have attitude, self-efficacy, and religiosity. You can have 4 or 5, but this is just sample with 3 independent variable towards compliant behavior. So we can change the name. So the first step is copy the latent variable and change the name. Jangan tak lagi nak tanya pula macam mana nak tukar nama, format pula lagi sekali komputer. Memang format, reformat.
Right click, right? You just right click and you can change the name.
Okay, rename.
Okay, so latent variables are variables that are not yet observed, right? So it's not measured, it's not observed yet. So it's in a red color. Red color means it's not observed yet. And for PLS, okay, you can put your latent variables anywhere you like. You can move around, okay, play around. You can put anywhere you like. It doesn't matter, right?
There's one participant tanya macam terlebihan. Kita patut 4, bubuh 5. Cuba Prof masuk jadi 5. Masukkan satu lagi.
Okay, tekan satu lagi.
Buat 5. Lepas tu dia suruh masukkan nombor 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we rename.
Okay, now we have 5 and delete it. Dia suruh buang balik.
Okay.
Terlebih dia kata. Okay,
delete, terlebih.
Terlebih.
Katalah sini intention, contoh. For example, this is intention, right?
We only want 3, but we already put 4.
Okay.
So macam mana? Nak format balik ke PLSM? Tak. We just click.
Okay. Right click and delete.
Right click and delete only. Jangan format komputer. The student format komputer. Install, reinstall, install, reinstall. We just click right click and click on delete.
So you can play around. You can delete.
Okay, 4 lagi ya. Okay.
Okay, you can delete here, for example. Alright, this one you want to delete, right? You just click select here, select, and then you right click here, delete.
Okay.
Okay, and then you want to add. Then you click latent variable, click here. Okay, then you rename. You can play around. But we are running short of time. I thought I wanted to.
Tak apa, Bro. Minggu depan lagi, Bro. Tak apa aku. Kita slowly macam ni lah. Macam nak delete. Sometimes it's very simple. Then we this is the actual experience with student actually. Just delete. They don't know how to delete. They don't know how to link, and they don't know why it's red color. This some meaning actually all in this PLSM. Macam Prof kata lah, sebab dia tak measure lagi, dia jadi merah lah. Dia nanti jadi biru macam tu lah kan. Faham kan?
Yes. Macam just like traffic light. So when it is red color, you cannot you cannot drive. So you cannot you have to stop. You cannot drive, right? So in PLSM, red color you cannot analyze yet. It is unobserved. So you cannot do the further analysis. Just like when you drive Honda, right? Dr. Sufyan drives Toyota. You arrive at traffic light, red color. means you cannot drive. You cannot go. You cannot go. Something like that. All right. So the next step is you want to put the items in the construct, right? So you find here in the left, top left, okay. Top left here, these are the items. Okay, these are the items. So for today's purpose, I just choose, for example, 8 items from the attitude construct. That's for purpose of today's workshop, right? For your PhD thesis, of course, you need to include all the attitudes. All right, religiosity, okay.
Maybe you can show us how you select that question, and then you bring to Latent construct. You can slowly. You select. Okay, how you select?
Okay.
And
okay,
then
I show the next one slowly.
Okay.
Okay, next one. This I want to find the items for religiosity. So religiosity, I coded it as IR, Islamic religiosity. So trying to find Islamic religiosity here, 1 through. So I will choose. Okay, you click on the item, it turns blue, and then shift. Okay, shift. Then you click the down arrow. Okay. I just choose like that. Okay. Then on the cursor, you click your cursor, you bring here, you see, release here. Okay. You can play around. Okay, next one is self-efficacy. I have to find my item in self-efficacy. Okay, I have 4 items. 5 items. Okay, slowly, yeah. Okay, slowly. Okay. Click on the first item. Shift. Okay. Wait. I have to mute somebody. Please, everybody mute. Okay, let me remind every participant to mute. Unless you have a question, then you can unmute. Because it's disturbing me. Okay.
Prof, so there is one question. For example, in religiosity, we included IN1. Kita termasuk IN1.
Okay.
So how to delete? Jangan format komputer, kita how to delete. How we delete it? Prof tunjuk macam mana kita delete, Prof.
Okay, delete.
And then we delete IN1 in religiosity.
Click
the item.
Okay.
Item terlebih tu ada satu item terlebih. In religiosity.
Select, right? Select, and then you click here. First, select, and then you click here. Okay, then right click, and then delete. All right, good question. So you can play around.
Simulation, how to delete. Simulation, bukan sengaja buat, Prof. Dia memang saja. Sebenarnya tak sengaja kan. Itu kita cover lah. So this is how we delete the item. Okay. Okay. Ada soalan tanya, boleh transfer satu-satu tak? Kita ambil satu-satu. We transfer one by one the question. Can we do it?
You want to transfer one by one? Okay.
One by one?
Can. You just drag here. 1, 2. This one is the slow method. 1, 2, 3. You can also do like this. Okay. There you have 5. Okay. Let's do one by one. It's better.
Okay, you can show one mistake, then you can delete. Okay, bukan mistake ya, itu adalah learning process.
Okay, mistake here. Okay, then this SQ1, SQ2 doesn't belong here. You need to delete. Right, and then you select here, click select, and then click on the items that you mistakenly included. Then you right click, then you delete. Okay, again, select, click SQ2, right click, and then delete. All right. Okay, let's go to last one, compliance behavior. Where is it? Okay, I have 4 items here. You just drag, click on the first one, it turns blue. Then you drag here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now you want to make it nice. Okay, you want to make it nice. Okay, how do we do? You right click here, for example, align right. Okay, that it looks better. Okay, here it's up to
Sekali,
you.
Prof, can you repeat how to why we do align, how you shift it, so make sure all the students can follow us. Okay, how you align? Okay.
So for PLS, you can put anywhere you like. It doesn't have to be in any order. So just like you can make it nice. Here I align right. So it's up to you. You can align top. You can align anywhere you like. But if, for example, you align left, it doesn't look nice, right? So we don't want it to be too crowded. So I just align right, okay, so that it's not too crowded. This one, because when you do data analysis for PhD, you will have many more variables, right? So it will be crowded, but for this workshop, it's not too crowded, so it's all right. So you
for student, you can play around. So today maybe at least you know how to draw this thing. You can play around, like you can put on the left, right, top, and on the bottom. So when people say, "What you learned today?" I'm drawing this thing and just shifting left, right, or something like that. At least you got something for today class. Okay, ada 30 minit lagi, Prof. Kat mana kita berhenti?
Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can play around. This one looks nice, okay? Or if you want to put this one on top, it's all right. Okay, so it's up to you. So just to make it look nice and not too crowded. Oh, this one is crowded, right? So you just play around. Maybe put it left here. All right. So now your IV is self-efficacy, religiosity, and attitude. And this is your DV, right? So now you want to connect. Okay. You click on the connect. Can you see? Connect, and then first you connect attitude to compliance. All right. And then click select, and then connect religiosity to compliance. All right. And then self-efficacy to compliance. All right, now it turns blue. Blue means we can go. So now it is now it's the variables that can be estimated. All right. So we have 3 IVs: self-efficacy, religiosity, attitude, and 1 DV, compliance behavior. So you can play around. You can put anywhere you like, right? Oh. So it doesn't matter the location. It doesn't matter. As long as it turns blue, then it's all right. So we have 5 items for self-efficacy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 items for religiosity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 items for attitude, 4 items for compliance behavior. So for PhD, like I said before, the number of items should be more than 6. So, but for this workshop, it's all right. You will see later that some of the items need to be deleted if it's not statistically significant. Okay, you see the arrow here from the construct to the items. From construct to the items. It is called the reflective model. There are two types of model, reflective model, and the other one is a formative model. All right.
Prof, maybe, Prof, so we know that it's become blue, and it means that all the variable is interconnected. We are ready to perform the calculation, right, Prof?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, not yet.
We
Okay.
have to determine whether our model is reflective or formative.
Yes. This one is reflective, Prof, right?
This one is reflective. So
Okay.
I'm trying
before that boleh semua participant boleh reply. Ada lagi tak kat sini? Takut saya bercakap dua orang ni. Ada lagi tak? Ada student, ada participant. If you are here, oh, okay, ada satu daripada 30. Ada. Oh, okay, very good. Okay, please reply.
Dr.
Oh, ada
Asnani.
Ustaz, ada.
Ada
Prof. Ada Prof. Bukan kita dua orang je, Prof. Memang kita bersama-sama
Yes,
dengan
I'm here.
Dr.
participant,
Asnani,
Prof.
boleh tanya soalan apa ni, ataupun kalau saya salah tolong perbetulkan
Prof, kita bukan dua orang je, Prof. Ada ramai orang kat sini, Prof. Okey, boleh sambung, Prof. Tak mahu ganggu lah.
Macam syok sendiri diorang. Dr. Asnani, kalau saya salah tolong perbetulkan. Dr. Asnani is an expert. Dr. Asnani.
Tak ada.
Alright. Nampak macam tak done nak berhabis kita
boleh minggu depan, bro. Eloklah tu kan. Saya tak payah ajak Amor tu.
Dr. Sofian pandai buat trik. Sepatutnya Dr.
Tak
Sofian.
hidup, bro.
Alright. Okay. So
actually I think it's better our workshop is slowly, then all the student can understand instead of we go very, very fast and nobody understand. I think it's better kita ada interaction sikit. We starting from the beginner, how to delete, how to the color, so everybody understand. If not, if we have some problem, then we go to format our computer and we bring to our workshop atau kita pasal tanya kawan-kawan just very simple actually. So please bear with me because it's very slow. Okay. But it is so to cater all of students. So when you read again, you can understand, kan?
Dr. Asnani tanya boleh explain beza antara reflective dan formative. Okay. I need 5 minutes to go to settle a thing.
Boleh bro. Sementara tu saya jawab lah kot bro.
Dr. Sofian jawab pun boleh.
Okay.
Toilet jap.
Okay. For the reflective mean the questionnaire is question lah. Questionnaire or question, we call it item. For example, intelligence 10, 10. So it should be reflective for question. Formative mean data. Data mean kita kata income, markah pelajar. That we call it formative. There is difference between reflective and formative. Reflective mean about the opinion, about the question. Formative mean the secondary data. Datanya adalah contoh kewangan, berat badan kita kata, markah pelajar, income daripada family, something like that. Okay, so Prof minta 5 minit lah. Kita tunggu sekejap lah, tinggal ada 20 minit lagi pun kan. So for all participants, we'll wait for a while because Prof need a break. 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. So minta maaf dia minta tu. So sorry for interruption. So Prof will come again in 3 or 4 minutes lah. Harap-harap semua ada dengan sini lagi ya. Ibu Tuti ada lagi, Ibu Tuti? Ibu Tuti ada kat sini, Ibu Tuti?
Ada, saya terus ikut.
Ikut. Ada soalan ni Ibu Tuti? Ada soalan ke?
Belum, nanti ya, saya sendiri aja.
Belum. Okey,
Nanti
tak apa.
sendiri.
Kita tunggu sekejap lah Prof ke bilik air.
Ya, nggak apa-apa, it's okay.
Dalam
Okay.
Indonesia dia panggil apa tu bilik air tu?
Banyak tadi dari my campus also, but join and left. Join and left because they have they have the student, they have class. So,
Okay, no problem. Thank you for invite other participants.
Yeah, the one who asked about statistic, was that the one? Hardiansa is also my lectures in my campus.
Pak
The one you answer.
Bilik air itu kamar mandi ya dalam bahasa Indonesia, bilik air. Kejap lah.
Ya. Okay.
Jadi kita punya workshop ni dia slow sikit lah sebab we want to cater for all of the participants yang new. True. We cannot go sangat laju lah sebab kalau laju dekat YouTube pun ada kan. Tapi untuk workshop we want to make sure the student understanding. Sometimes we also include some theory, framework, sometimes I interrupt to make sure we are not boring something like that for our discussion lah.
You are good because it's true. You are preaching us, preaching us with Prof Yusuf because when we are playing with the explanation from Dr. Prof Yusuf, you are the one understand about SEM, PLS SEM, then you can asking to make a clarification, more explanation, to detailing, so. Then we get more information.
I just bring the knowledge to make sure all participants or the entry level can understand what is Prof talking about. It's high level. I just bring it to our level, something like that.
That's true because you are experiencing it.
Okay, so kita tunggu sekejap lah.
Okay, no problem.
Alright, I'm back.
Dah sampai dah. Okay.
Sorry for 5 minutes break. Alright.
Excuse me.
Dr. Asnani.
Can I ask?
Okay, go ahead.
Just now we are using the simple model, right? Without a moderator or mediator. Am I right?
Right.
So if I have a moderator or mediator in my model, do I have to create and include it at this stage, or do I need to exclude it first? Maksudnya masuk terus sekaligus ke ataupun kita biarkan dulu yang moderator dan mediator tu?
Yes, we can do later. We can do in later stage. Next week we will cover the moderator and mediator. Today we just cover the direct path, direct relationship. So can you join us next week?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Prof.
Yes, inshallah. We will cover next week, moderating effect and mediating effect. Because today only 3 hours. Because I have another class at 2:30. So probably we can stop at 12:30 or 1 o'clock today. Can we extend to 1 o'clock? Dr. Sufyan, because there are some very interesting questions. Dr. Asani asked very good questions. What's the difference between reflective and formative? Okay, so for reflective, the arrow goes from the construct to the items. Means the constructs are reflected in the items. Let me give you an example. Religiosity here, is it a reflective or formative? Whether it's a reflective or formative depends on the theory. Okay, you have to go back to the theory. For example, IR10 here is akhlaq, right? IR10 is akhlaq. So a Muslim is a religious when he has good akhlaq. So the religiosity is reflected in the good akhlaq. All right. IR11, sadaqah. Okay. A good a religious Muslim, okay, whether he is religious or not, is reflected in the giving of sadaqah. So the religious person give sadaqah. So it's reflected in the items. Okay, what else? For example, this is just an example. Ayat 12 is recitation of the Quran. Okay, so if the person recites Quran every day, so it reflects the religiosity. This was number 13, Qiyamul Lail, right? Qiyamul Lail. So the person, what they say, in the middle of the night perform Qiyamul Lail. So if he is religious, then it's reflected in the performance of Qiyamul Lail. So that's why it's reflective. But if you say performing Qiyamul Lail increase religiosity, right? The amal increase the iman. Okay, performing Qiyamul Lail increase religiosity. Giving sadaqah increase religiosity. Okay, having good akhlaq increase religiosity. If the theory says like that, then it is formative. Okay, then it is formative. So it depends on the theory and expectation. Okay, which one? Okay, you are religious, you give sadaqah, right? That is reflective. But if you say giving sadaqah increase your religiosity, then it is formative. So if according to you it is formative, then you should switch from reflective to formative. All right, so it looks like that. Dr. Asnani? Okay. All right. So it becomes the formative. So whether reflective or normative depends on the theory and expectation. If the arrow goes from the variable to items, it is reflective. If the arrow goes from the items to the construct, then it is formative. Whether formative or reflective, it depends on the theory and expectation. Now we switch back to reflective, because according to this, it is, according to the theory and expectation, it is reflective. So it depends on you. Reflective or formative depends on the theory and expectation. Dr. Asnani? Mana? Nak dengar suara Dr. Asnani.
Ya, okey, doktor.
So whether reflective or formative depends on the theory and expectation. Kalau case study tu, Dr. Asnani rasa formative ke reflective? Contoh kalau dia semayang Qiyamul Lail, dia bangun Qiyamul Lail, kalau Dr. Asnani kata okey, dia ni kuat agama, jadi dia bangun semayang. Dia reflect the fact that dia bangun semayang Qiyamul Lail. Tapi ada orang kata pula, bangun Qiyamul Lail tu sebenarnya meningkatkan keagamaan dia. So yang mana satu?
Maknanya kalau dia form lah, maknanya kalau dia punya item tu membentuk kepada variable tu bermakna formatif kan?
Formatif macam ni. Formatif macam ni.
Kalau saya bagi satu contoh, doktor.
Ya.
Kalau dalam Big Five personality kan?
Okay.
Dia ada 5, kita panggil 5 dimension kan?
Right.
Kalau yang variable yang macam tu, dia formatif atau reflektif. Sebab kalau kita buang satu dia kalau dia macam kena wajib, 5 tu kena wajib. Itu yang antara salah satu yang kita sebut sebagai formatif. Formatif betul ke Dato'?
Betul. Tapi sebelum tu kita tengok dari segi teori dulu.
Tapi base dia mesti bergantung pada teori lah dan juga previous study.
Kan. So macam personality tu kalau dia reflektif, okey, kalau dia reflektif maksud dia ada 5 trait kan, 5 trait of personality kan.
5 trait.
5 trait of personality. So dari segi teori dia macam reflektif So this is the personality and then dia ada trait. Sebab bukan trait tu mempengaruhi kalau dia macam ni maksudnya kalau dia formatif maksudnya item tu yang mempengaruhi construct.
Ya.
Kalau dia reflektif, construct tu reflected by the item.
Okay, betul.
That one must be established from the theory and expectation lah.
Betul.
Jadi bagi saya yang tadi tu dia macam reflektif. Sebab personality is reflected by the 5 traits. Kan? So
saya faham.
Yang tu kena tengok teori dan expectation lah. So this one according to theory reflektif lah yang ni. Kalau dia ada akhlak yang baik, 10 akhlak contoh kan. So religiosity dia reflected by akhlak dia lah. Kalau dia orang yang religious akhlak dia baik, kalau orang yang tak religious akhlak dia buruk lah. Macam tu lah. So kita establish from the theory. Okay. Boleh lagi kan ni? Semua boleh lagi? Can we continue or you want to stop continue next week or boleh lagi? Dr. Sufyan boleh lagi ya? Mr. Hamza, are you still with us?
Yes, yeah, I'm with you, Prof.
Can we continue?
Or
you are tired already?
I want to continue. I can continue for
okay, we continue. Okay.
Yes.
A little bit more. All right.
Yeah, a little bit more.
So now we want to test the statistical significance of the dimensions, right? In the second stage, we want to assess the measurement model. One of the things we do in the assessment of the measurement model is we want to test the statistical significance of the items. The yellow color here, the yellow color boxes here are called items. The blue circle called construct. All right. Then we go to click calculate.
Bro, you need to share the file, bro.
Excuse me.
To share the file, the view, sharing the SEM.
Oh, you cannot see.
I cannot see the file.
You cannot see.
Yeah. I think everybody.
And anybody else can see or not?
Oh, very clear. Good.
Very clear.
Mr. Masri, everybody else can see. Can you see or not?
Yes, clear, Prof. Go ahead.
Okay, we go ahead. Mr. Masri will follow us.
Yeah, just listen.
He will catch up with us. Okay, you click calculate, and the first one is PLS algorithm, right? PLS algorithm. You click PLS algorithm. All right. And then you just click start calculation. On the left, on your bottom right, start calculation. All right. So we want to check for the outer loadings. Okay, we click here, final results. Under final results here, outer loadings. We want to check for outer loadings. All right. Outer loadings should be greater than, according to here, it should be greater than 0.7. So we see here CB4, the outer loadings for CB4, item 4 of compliance behavior is less than 0.7. So if it is less than 0.7, the color is red. Okay, means it is not statistically significant. Right, then what do? We need to remove each one by one. First, we want to remove SE1, for example. All right. We want to remove SE1. So we go back to this one. Try to find SE1 here. Okay, you click, select, click SE1, then click right click, you delete.
Oh.
Okay, you delete, and then you calculate again. Play around, calculate PLS SEM, and then start calculation. All right, and then you click outer loadings. Okay, and check. Okay, still red colors. There are still red colors, means the outer loadings less than less than 0.7. SE2 is very low. So what do? Okay, click workshop. Okay, workshop. Then we need to remove SE2 here. SE2 here is very low. 0.367, it should be greater than 0.7. So we delete. All right. We are left with 3. Okay. Then calculate PLS algorithm, start calculation, click auto loadings. All right, now we have 3 that are still red. So what do? If it is greater than 0.5 and less than 0.7, you keep. If the AVE, you keep if the AVE is greater than 0.5 and CR is greater than 0.7. Okay, what is AVE? AVE is average variance extracted. To test for the validity, if AVE is greater than 0.5, then the constructs are valid. Okay, so what do? Okay, we go back to this diagram. So this is statistically significant. Okay.
And this one? What about the 1.59?
Okay, this one, okay. This one, okay. This one, only IR7, IR17 is 0.593. And this one also IR13, 0.679, less than 0.7. We want to keep or we want to remove. So we can check the AVE. Okay. Okay, we can check the AVE. Okay. You click here in the constructs here, AVE. Okay. And below here is highlight path. Highlight path, I can choose relative values. just to make it nice. So if it is thick, then it is more significant than the other. The thicker one is more significant than the less thick one. If you don't want, it's okay. Okay. Oh, some people just like that. Okay. So let's see. The value of AVE is greater than 0.5, all greater than 0.5, right? And let's check the value of, we want to, so all the constructs are valid. Okay, all the constructs are valid. And then we want to check for the reliability. We go to composite reliability. Composite reliability should be greater than 0.7. So all the composite reliability here are greater than 0.7. So we pass the reliability and the validity test. All right. Any question? So we pass the second stage. All the items are statistically significant. All the constructs are valid and reliable. Dr. Sufyan, okay, if we check the construct reliability and validity here, you click on composite reliability. Okay, you click on composite reliability. All right, what happens? All the constructs pass or greater than 0.7. Okay, so that means all the constructs are pass the test of reliability. All right, AVE, okay, is greater than 0.5, so all the constructs pass the test of validity. AVE is to test for validity, composite reliability to test for reliability, and you have row A also pass. If the color is green, then it passed the test. Chrome bar alpha to test for reliability. Okay, so pass. Okay, so we pass all the tests of validity and reliability. So we can go to the next step, which is the assessment of the structural model. I feel like I'm, anybody still here? All of you left?
Yeah, I am.
Ya, Dr. Asani kata saya cadangkan cek AVE dulu sebelum remove item. Betul, betul. Ya, ya, betul. So, but if the items, okay, if the items is less than 0.5, we remove the item first. Okay, if the item is less than 0.5, we remove the item. If it is greater than 0.5, but less than 0.7, we check AVE and we check the composite reliability. Yes, you are right, Dr. Asnani. Thank you. All right. Can we go to the next step, or we want to continue next week? Dr. Sufyan, next week we will talk about the assessment of structural model. We talk about the assessment of moderating variable and assessment of mediating variable and the predictive power. Because I think too much already for some of you.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can stop here and I open for Q&A. Please ask any question. Okay, yeah, we stop at the second stage, the assessment of measurement model. And don't forget to save, yeah? Don't forget to save. All right, to save, if you use Excel 3, you can just export to Excel. All right, start export. Okay, this is save as, you can name whatever you want to name. And where you put in your folder and you save. Okay. Can you see the Excel spreadsheet? Can you see or not? Can you see or not? Bu Tuti,
Yeah.
can you see the Excel spreadsheet?
Oh, no. Yeah, I can. I can.
Okay. So this is
Yes, I can.
okay,
Smart
good.
PLS report. Yeah.
Smart PLS report. Then you can see the construct reliability and validity here. You go to construct reliability and validity. Okay, this is the value for Chromebook Alpha, all greater than 0.7. Okay, row A greater than 0.7. Composite reliability greater than 0.7. AVE greater than 0.5. So all are okay. So pass the test of reliability and validity. So if you want to write an article on validity and reliability of instruments, okay, so you can use this. Okay, you can, okay, this one you can copy and paste in the Word form, okay?
How can I ask for?
Sure.
What do you think if you also give us, the meaning, the theoretical of why we need the logarithm, why we need the, gelombang alpha, why we need, etc., etc. Because for me and also my colleagues, my friends here, the beginner probably still do not know the purpose why we need logarithm and, etc.
Good. I will explain in the next class, maybe, because we are running short of time, right? So
yeah, I know.
will give
or
you
probably you just give us the book or
I will give you the book.
book.
I will give you the
okay,
book.
thanks.
Then we
thanks.
can discuss. We can discuss what is AVE, what is Chromebook
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What is composite reliability? You can read first, and then I will explain. I will explain in the next workshop.
Okay,
or
thank
in
you.
the next class, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Good question. Because when we have workshops, sometimes we are constrained by the time, right? So we cannot cover everything, right?
Yeah, no.
So given the time limit,
yes, sure.
I will share a very good textbook. Actually, the textbook is more than 200 ringgit.
Yeah, you said.
If you buy the paper, the hardcover or the hard copy, sorry, if you buy the hard copy, cost you more than 200. But I will give you the ebook. Okay, I give you the ebook, so you can. So it's free. All right. What time is it now?
It's 11:34. It's past already.
Okay. So any question before we stop our workshop? Right. Inshallah, we will continue next week at the same time. Okay, at the same time we continue. Please join us next week. It is still free. If you join other workshops, it will cost you.
Yeah.
It will cost you, you know. But here we share.
Mhm.
So it is free. So please ask any question before we start. Dr. Sufyan, Mr. Hamza, any question?
Yes, Prof.
Any question, Mr. Hamza?
No, really, but what I have understood, what I have understood that at this stage, if my questionnaire passes if it's passed, then I will go for field study. I collect data, then
first you need
I feed in.
to do the pilot test.
Okay, so what I was asking is this the data I get from the pilot study, and I fill it in the PLSM. So if it goes through this reliability and validity, then it means I'm good to go on thesis, or I'm just looking for the next step.
Yeah. For pilot test, you just stop at this stage, the measurement of the assessment of the measurement model, right? So you're right. If the constructs pass through the validity and reliability test, right, then you can go ahead and collect the field work, the actual data, right?
Another thing, Prof, I think this is for the first time I've seen how this software is operated. And midweek, I think me and my new students here of PLSM, we are going to do some testing and try and fail. So I request that we organize more classes of these practical classes. Yes, because I think this has more to do with your final stages of PhD level. We go for more practical. Me and Ibn Tuti, I think we enjoyed this today.
Next time you need to pay.
We shall pay, but we need to learn this, because this seemed like rocket science for me. That how can this come out? These point things, how do you get them, and how do you actually interpret them? Interpretation is very, very tricky. So now I'm learning for the first time, and I request that we have more classes of this. For me, the challenge is it is too early for me. You wake up at 4, you sleep for 3-4 hours, so your mind is not sharp enough due to time difference. But alhamdulillah, it's okay. We can organize these workshops for Malaysian time. It can be around from this time up to maybe in the evening, so that
maybe next
have
time we have the evening session, so that
yes, the evening session.
Oh, okay.
So that you can
Time
follow.
constraint,
Yeah, because of the time.
Time difference.
Yeah. I mean, not changing the class timetable, but if we have something like this, which is so important and good for novices like us, I think we can.
What time in Nigeria and what time in your country now, Mr. Hamza?
Now it's 7:39 a.m. morning. Yeah, so since it's a Friday, at work you have to have a lot of things. You leave work and you prepare. So in the morning you don't even want to lift your head, but always I'm up. Yeah.
Dr. Sani,
Prof, please don't forget to share the book, because we want to read and then ask more questions in the next
I will
week.
share the book in WhatsApp and also in Telegram.
Inshallah. Then I will also ask the students that have applied PhD, my friends here in Uganda. So I will ask them to join the next workshop, I think.
Sure, sure.
Yes, I will.
Sure, you can invite anybody.
Hopefully you can be their supervisor. They like you, they follow you.
Oh, they like me. Okay.
Yeah, they like you, they follow you.
Why they like me? Because I'm famous, huh? I'm a celebrity.
You're famous. You're famous, and another thing they say that you smooth operator. They say this very smooth operator, but very effective in his lectures. Yes.
I accept that as a compliment.
You're welcome.
Okay. Dr. Sani, my friend, are you still here?
Yeah, Prof.
Dr. Sani, are you still here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Sani Yahya from Nigeria. My guru, Dr. Sani Yahya from Nigeria. Oh, I think he's gone.
Left, I think, for prayers.
Yeah, he left for prayer.
Okay, I think that's all the workshop for today. I hope it bermanfaat. I hope it is
Very manfaat.
useful, helpful, and because of the time limit, we cannot cover everything. Inshallah, we will continue next week with the assessment of structural model, and we go to mediating effect and moderating effect, and also the predictive power. One of the advantages of PLSM is that it can be used to predict, yeah, with some predictive power. All right, so thank you everybody. Thank you, Dr. Sufyan. Thank you, Dr. Asnani, who joined us. Dr. Asnani is the Dean of Kuliah Muamalat and Management Sciences, UNISHAM. Dr. Sani, my best friend, Dr. Sani. Sani Yahya from Nigeria, and all my students, and also those viewers from outside of UNISHAM. Ahlan wa sahlan. I will post the recording in the channel Dr. Yusuf TV, and also in Telegram. You can see the link in the chat box. Copy the link and join our Telegram. There are many useful videos that I post on the Telegram and also on the channel, right? Okay, so thank you everybody. Inshallah, see you next week. Any questions you can post to me. So students of research methodology, as usual, you can ask me in our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I see Mr. Bapak Priyagi is here, right? Okay. So thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody.
Terima kasih, Prof.
No.